pledge of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We've all had a chance to look at the agenda. Any additions, corrections, or conflicts of interest? If not, it'll stand approved as printed. Move on to reading of the minutes.
You like that?
That is, start reading, so I'll
Fine.
point to you.
No, I don't. April 21, 2026, the Board of Supervisors met at 9 a.m. with Craig Dozark, Chair, presiding. Members present were Schultz, Mulbauer, Dozark, Hayden, and Rosberg. Minutes of the previous meeting were read and approved. The board approved clerk of court fees for March of 2026. The board approved hiring of Cambry Head, seasonal naturalist intern, Ty Fink, seasonal naturalist intern, Ashland, seasonal naturalist intern, Tyler Mullen, seasonal park attendant, Austin Brummer, seasonal park attendant, Morgan Wood, seasonal park attendant, Quentin Jewell, seasonal park attendant, Noah Hillpiper, there, that makes way more sense. Seasonal park attendant, Violet Christensen, seasonal Dow House tour guide in the conservation department. The board approved hiring of Giselle Perez, part-time home health, hospice, public health. Patty Ritchie and student government of Denison Job Corps discussed with the board about opening day. A motion was made by Schultz, seconded by Hayden, to approve the Job Corps in open day proclamation. Motion passed unanimously. Tim Stewart, K.R. Buck, and Steve Brown Miller, Friends of the Wellness Center, gave the board an update on the new Crawford County YMCA. The board canvassed the votes cast in the city of Charter Oak special election held April 14th, 2026. Copies of the canvas and abstract are available in the auditor's office. A motion was made by Schultz, seconded by Mulbauer, to approve the tax abatement for section 31, Otter Creek, Northeast Porter, Bryce and Reagan Blanc, new basement and prefab home. Motion passed unanimously. Chris Gosh, Conservation Director, Ben Wallace, DNR Fishing Biologist, and Michelle Balmer, DNR Lake Restoration Program Director, discussed with the board the Yellow Smoke Lake Restoration Project. DNR provided some slides with some survey statistics about yellow smoke. Kaylee with Globe Life Liberty National Division spoke with the board about supplemental insurance Globe Life provides. Motion was made by Hayden, seconded by Schultz, to approve to retain private counsel for CVCV 043776 and authorize Craig Dozark to sign after clarity is sought. Motion passed unanimously. The board had a discussion about the opioid settlement amount for Janssen agreement. No action was taken at this time. Zach Rasmussen, Emergency Management, discussed with the board the Crawford County, Iowa proclamation of local disaster. No action was taken at this time. Zach Rasmussen, Emergency Management, discussed with the board an emergency operations center in the LEC. No action was taken at this time. At 1:05 p.m., a motion was made by Schultz, seconded by Mulbauer, to open the closed session pursuant to Iowa Code 21, Section 5, subsection 1, subsection A, continuity of operations / government, which allows for closed session. Motion passed unanimously. At 1:19 p.m., a motion was made by Mulbauer, seconded by Hayden, to close the closed session. Motion passed unanimously. On motion duly seconded, the board adjourned at 1:20 p.m. Agendas for the next meeting are posted and available at the courthouse on Friday, 4:30 p.m. preceding the next meeting.
Thank you, Jerry.
You bet.
Any additions or corrections to the minutes?
It was a long meeting.
It was. If not, they'll stand approved as read. And I just want to I'll just comment, I guess, specifically to Terry, is that I tried to do some research last week as to when CDC started. And I
Oh.
kind of read that it was in 1951, so I went and
Oh,
read through all the minutes of
Oh my God.
1950,
Oh my God.
of 1951 to see if the county gave CDC any money when they
Yeah.
started up.
yep,
And there was nothing in the minutes of that year, so maybe I got the year wrong, but I will just say that so many times in the minutes, other than the posting of the bills that they paid,
yep,
they would have, and the motions that were passed,
yep.
they would just have many items concerning the county were discussed.
Oh,
Oh.
that's pretty.
They would
big.
have that in there.
Really?
And so maybe it was discussed with CDC, but they
Right.
they didn't make a motion. I don't know. So I just want to thank you for the
Oh,
detail
yeah.
that you
Well,
put in there.
Megan does it. Megan types
Even
it up.
when, you know, when it's not even a motion, when you talked about KR Buck and those people were
Yeah.
here. And
Yeah.
with the health insurance people that were
Well, it's
here.
nice because so many
we
people
didn't take-
can't be here.
Right, we didn't take any action, but it's still in the minutes that
Mhm.
this is what we did. So thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
So it was originally Crawford County. What is it?
I don't know if it was Crawford County Development Corporation back in the day or,
CCDC.
right, I don't know. I thought I read somewhere that it was 1951. And so that's what the year I started looking just to see. And
With any names of who voted or anything like that?
Nope.
Is that what kind
Really?
of, okay, thank you, yeah.
Well, it is nice. I mean, in fact, even somewhere down the road, someone, hey, when did the board ever talk about yellow smoke restoration?
Right, exactly.
Oh, they actually talked about it on this day,
right.
rather than
Right.
items were discussed.
I mean, now we have YouTube and everything's tape recorded, and I guess not every board of supervisors does that,
No, they don't.
but we do. And so I think that makes us a little more transparent.
I'm
And
surprised
we'll
the ones
keep
that-
our minutes. We use COT. So there's a website available for people to, you know, look at that stuff, especially us in the courthouse and the county employees. But I think the public can access it to a certain extent also. But it has some searching capabilities, so I could plug in Dozark and find out in the minutes everywhere that you know, either motioned or whatever were documented
You
as
can do that
commenting.
on your end.
Yeah,
Remember
there's a point, maybe I should do that for the
That's a-
chamber or the CDC
The
stuff,
public,
the development,
when the public accesses that online resource, I
right?
didn't think
I
had
know,
the
I don't think.
capability that I had to download
Mhm.
when I tried to search.
It's
before.
different,
Right,
it
it's
is
different.
different.
Yeah,
So if someone really needs some information, I mean, they could come in here and we
Right.
could assist them
right.
further to capture some of that information that's available
Right.
especially in the board minutes. Cause that stuff's all scanned in up to a certain point and now we just have to maintain it, so. Yeah,
Does that go way back to like the beginning of
it
time?
goes back to all
Yes.
the books that are in my vault. I don't think we did the lower level books, the ones in the basement, the
Okay.
oldies,
So,
but,
I mean, the first entry, I
What was
believe,
it?
is 1858.
oh, okay.
Oh,
So
so,
I didn't know how
We
far
were
back it
counting in
went in the minute books.
1851.
okay, because then, so if you would go back into your books and enter Schultz and, you know, anything from like great grandfather.
Right,
Possibly.
right.
So we'll move on to supervisor reports. Kyle.
That's the first one.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, I thought, being we had some rainy days, I thought I'd take a drive around some of the county, and I just really wanted to go out and see some hail damage down that Dallas City area, and it took me past the county farm, so it's been a while since I've been past there, and I wanted to see how the growth was coming with our CRP.
Right.
As any with the pollinator program, it's that first year, it looks pretty. Oh, I don't know.
Pretty tough.
Pretty tough, but it's coming. It usually, I always laugh with those programs. It takes seems like it takes 10 years before it actually looks like it's supposed to, and then they usually tear it up after 10 years, so I always question the government's philosophy on that deal, but, I mean, for us as the county, the long term, I would assume would be to, who knows what the board will decide in 10 years, but.
I remember I had a portion of my yard that I would, once I did some work, I didn't know really what to do, and I had Phil Stevens come out. I said, Phil, what do you think I ought to do? He said, you should plant some wildflowers right there. That'd look awesome. And he said, go over to Carroll, and there's this guy that sells the seeds, get them from him. I said, okay. So I went over there. When I got my seed, the guy told me, he just says, I'll just tell you one thing, Craig, about wildflowers. He says, the first year, you'll hate me.
Yep.
Second year, you'll think I'm okay. Third year, you'll love them.
Yep.
So it takes that long sometimes because those are the same type of seed that you're planting there.
Yep.
Meantime, while your soil's at the neighbors. What I'm getting from Mark and Kelly's place right
Have you ever
now.
driven by my house and you see that big square, it's perfectly square that Jerry went over that same place, and I think we're on our third year and I still hate the guy. So.
Okay.
Not Jerry, the guy that's.
Okay.
I keep asking, what is that supposed to be? You know?
But now I get compliments when
A
people go out on my deck and they're, oh, you got a lot of
I
wildflowers. They look
know, that's what we
awesome.
were hoping
You
for.
can't see them from
Yeah.
the road.
Next time you drive by,
Okay.
don't ask me what that is.
All right.
'Cause I'll refer you to Jerome.
But through that, I stopped seeing Kevin Collins, and remember, was that a year ago or something, we had some discussion about him acquiring chunk. I actually went up and looked at that piece of ground that he was in question about, and then it would amount to about maybe a quarter of an acre. And I could see what his point is, and it's.
Is it for access?
Yeah, so he can cut a corner off between his adjacent properties. The fence is all junk and it's covered with mulberry trees, and there's years of erosion, a big elevation change between the two pieces, so I'd bring it back up to the board. But I said, well, the fence along our fence, it'd be our fence, it's all junk along there, so. And it's really odd fence too, many different, and I don't understand how it would ever got that way.
It doesn't need to be
an old road or something there years ago that, who knows?
Fence doesn't need to be replaced. It just needs to be taken out.
Well, he used to run cows on there, but the renters of the county farm like to have guard dogs, it says, and they're usually not the nicest guard dogs. So he puts electric fence across there so his cows can't get close to that place now. So, and he said the fence ain't the very best. So he never said anything about replacing the fence, but he said if he was able to acquire the land, he'd replace the fence and do the dirt work. Something to think about. I said it'd be minimal amount of land.
What's been the county's, I mean, historically, we have to put it up for public bid.
Sealed bid, auction, there's 3 ways we can dispose: sealed bid, closed auction. Have to look at code again.
I know, I can't remember what
Okay.
the third one would be.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't be
can't see
opposed
much
to that.
Right.
Interest
You
in
can't
it.
just offer it to a single person, you have to make it public.
Right.
Yeah, that's the key part of that.
He asked about that and I told him the exact same thing. He said, well, I can't see anybody.
Right.
I says, you just never know.
You never know.
If somebody really has something against you, they could really.
Yeah,
Spend a few bucks to be spiteful.
make sure you don't get it. Yeah,
But you gotta keep it
you
public.
do,
so
it still
everybody
has to.
Yeah.
Yeah, regardless, unfortunately or fortunately, whatever the case may be.
That's easy to do though.
Yeah.
Because the state gets bored some years, we have rules that we have to live by.
Some years. That was kind.
So do you have a timetable or what do we?
I don't think there's really a timetable, but obviously the sooner the better, but we'd just keep moving with it. I mean, if the board wants to move forward with it. I could try to get a map put together of this. Like I said, basically just cutting a corner off between two corner posts. And so I tried to measure it out on my phone, and it was such a small piece, it wouldn't even,
Oh, okay.
wouldn't even calculate how many acres it was. It was 0.000
Would Ben
some
be able to
acres.
survey it just to make
It
sure
would have
it
to be
was
surveyed.
described or whatever?
Yeah, we'd have to have it surveyed completely, but it.
Can the engineer's office do that?
I'm sure they could,
I'm
yeah,
sure they could.
yeah, and maybe that's the starting point, just have it surveyed out. Get Ben talked into having him do that before he. Well, we can always get access through our property
Right.
before he gets his crops planted. Yeah, I will stop
Okay.
and talk to Ben with
All
that. Conservation meeting next Wednesday. And, well, Ty and I had a little discussion yesterday about the Charter Oak Development Corporation, and we talked to Ben about it and talked to the Development Corporation, and we're all excited about that. So we might be having some more discussions in the near future. So I'll keep, if that moves any forward. It inquires some of our property in Charter.
For business purposes, we probably shouldn't say a whole lot about it.
I got you.
Screw up anybody's business plan.
Right.
I just want to let the rest of the board know that there might be
It
some.
would be a community greater good.
We're in favor of that.
Yeah, I think we'd be in favor of it, so.
Okay. Anything else, Kyle?
No.
Gene?
All right. I didn't have official meetings this week. I do have my early childhood tomorrow, and the state board has approved our consolidation. And so that's going to go forward. So that'll be a good meeting tomorrow morning at 10.
And you guys will finalize it with voting yes. for it.
Yep, and each board member, each county to serve on the board elect. So they'll probably decide who's going to be on the board and things like that. So that's an action item, and other processes in the consolidation, just some more information. So that'll be a good meeting. And then Kim Finneran got a hold of me, and they're having a reorganization DHHS meeting in Atlantic tomorrow, Thursday, and asked me if I wanted to attend. And I said, of course, just to kind of hear what's going on with it. So we're going to go down to that and kind of hear what the plans are and how things are going, and hear it right from the source itself. So I'm anxious to kind of go to that meeting. But otherwise, I've been visiting the Wellness Center every day since it opened, and I've been going at different times to kind of see what it's busy every time I'm there. I went twice on Saturday because I wanted to go to that volleyball tournament to see how many people turned up for that. Then yesterday I ran a little late, so I went about 6, and I couldn't find a place to park. Even my little Prius, I couldn't find a place to park. So I thought that was awesome, but that's a time for me not to go, because I can go anytime during the day. 2 o'clock in the afternoon is a pretty good time to go. Because I kind of like to just put my earbuds in and walk around about 1.5 miles and be done and go. So I got the fob, so I can go anytime now, because sometimes early in the morning, I just would like to get it over with, and then I can put on my work clothes and do what I have to do. But I was very pleased with how busy it is. I see your daughter-in-law there just
Yep.
about every time I go, and every time I actually go, there's more people that I see coming, and this was just kind of a soft opening. So May 1st, we'll have a lot of other people, and so I think it's well attended.
Nice.
Yeah, and already have a little camp going on, and the reason I couldn't find a place to park is I think every little baseball team was having batting cage practice, and so I took a video of it because it was so cool seeing there's people playing soccer, just practicing, and then that whole area in the back with the batting cages were just little kids with some of them were practicing their sliding. I thought that was so cute, on AstroTurf. It's going to be
Did
a
you
little
go show them how to do it?
I couldn't show them how to fall down, but probably not slide. So
That's a big advantage that generation has
Correct.
from just a generation ago, bringing up my kids that were involved in softball and baseball. We had to go to Omaha to the strike zone at the time to get a
Absolutely.
enclosed batting cage, or, you know, you had to register for your time, you had to pay for that, and do all that. And, you know, it's such an advantage for these kids to have that right here. And for the, you know, for the county, for the community, for the outside of the county, people are coming.
Having spent many years with kids in baseball, you would always tell those teams that would go, you know, but sometimes that was the first time we got up to bat, is when we went to our first game, because it was raining on practice, or, you know, you just, and it was a little chilly and windy last night, so they probably would have called off practice last night, but they were all in there inside playing, and just a lot of, you know, I think the moms go up there and walk while they're, it's just.
While the kids are practicing. And
We're getting the etiquette down. Fast walkers walk here, slow walkers walk there. Everybody's going the right direction now, or sometimes this way, they're going the wrong way, but it's been fun to just kind of watch. We have a little group called the Walkie Talkies, and so we meet up there and we walk and talk, and I can talk fast and walk fast, so.
Who came up with the name?
The Zoot girls,
Walkie
they
Talkies.
actually have t-shirts, and so, yeah, it's very interesting.
I could be the leader.
You could, you're not like girls only. So it's been really rewarding to
That sounds kind
see
of
that.
sexist.
Sorry, but it's the way it is. But it's been good. I got Jerry up
I'm
there.
glad you're up there. That's nice for you to report on that.
It is I've had to wait in line every single time. Last night I wanted to get my Bob to be able to have the after hours, because I
And
think
with that meeting room in the back, maybe we should, next time we have a 4-county thing, we should maybe meet
I
there.
think that would be absolutely, yeah, the tables are all
Have to
set
have
up.
catered food then.
Right, I understand that.
That's
but-
not a problem. We can make that happen. So,
We have the bake shop do that.
right now,
We went to job fair.
we did. You always have to remind me the week is so beyond me.
What's that?
We went to
Gina, I
Job Corps, the
Oh.
proclamation of
Right.
Job Corps is open. So it was Thursday, and I was getting ready to go to Rotary, and then Kyle kind of called, and I said, yeah, I'll go. And the numbers are good out there, you know, they gave the stats of where they were last year. I had that all written down. but I didn't read it.
177 students.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's not bad. I think they were ranked 50th last March and 56th this March,
For
which
number of
is
students?
for in the nation of Job Corps. They have some really exciting things. I think it sounds like it's going to get back to that community, you know, after COVID. You know, you can have kids, and I also went down to Dow City. Can't remember what day it was, to help
Wednesday.
Louise.
Wednesday.
And that was standing room only also, and I had the privilege to work with 2 of the Job Corps students. Very respectful, just did a fabulous job of helping serve the food, and it was standing room only there also, one of our biggest turnouts, so that was good to serve the veterans. But Job Corps, I was pleasantly surprised I was disappointed at the turnout, because, should we tell them how many people were there, Kyle? And I told him, I remembered when it used to be, people, I went
I'm glad we went.
I've been going since the 90s, and I've never seen it, I couldn't
Oh,
believe
for
it.
their lunch or whatever.
Yeah,
that
it was,
day.
and she
I
had
didn't
a-
even know they
I think they just
were.
get the word
Yeah.
out in time or
Or
whatever.
something,
Oh.
because they had a ton of food, fabulous tacos, they were really good.
What was that, rice milk or what?
Yeah, we had some, we were the only 2 from the community that were there, and so somehow we have to get that back to where,
Mhm.
I remember when, you know, Steve Hope would be there, and all of the supervisors, the Denison City Council. I went as a representative from United Bank of Iowa many years, just to kind of see what we could do. But I think we just need to get the word out. They're open, and they're wanting to be involved in the community, and they're doing good things. And they're funded through 2027 at this time. And getting their programs up and running again. They never really quit, but they're getting them filled again. So
What was the one was #1 in the nation? What program was that they recognized as?
it was the building, because they really did talk about the building.
Yeah.
I wrote down some notes.
Yeah.
I forgot I was even there, Kyle. I got it.
Yeah, so they got a lot of good things going on.
They do.
Yeah.
campus looks lovely and it looks like business as usual. So, and that's why I think they did that proclamation. We are open. So people, it kind of there for a while, thought it was going to be a thing of the past. And what was that building going to look like when it was empty? And what were all these kids going to do? And luckily they got the word out. They, through judges' interventions, that they didn't actually get it, and they worked themselves back. So we'll have to keep in touch when they do have it again, to make sure that we get more people to go and make some phone calls. Because I would not have known had I not been here for the proclamation of we are open. But I didn't have it. Usually I used to get an email from their coordinator, but I think they're just building the program back. So there's another thing.
I kind of wonder, that program was put on pause or whatever you want to call it during the Doge on the national level thing, and Musk
Correct.
was kind of running that. And I don't know if you ever heard the story about where he had a secretary or an executive assistant or something that needed some time off, and he said, yeah, go ahead and take all the time you need. So we'll kind of evaluate things when you get back. And said he didn't miss her. I don't know if this is true, but said he didn't miss her while he's gone, and so he gave her severance pay and said, have a good day. I kind of wonder if that's how they were working it with these programs, because I thought about, all these programs you heard that were getting cut, and then stuff like this that didn't get cut then. I think they might have been testing to see what the pushback would be.
Correct.
And what was the value, and they would then come sell themselves. Listen, this is what we're going to be missing.
Yep.
And obviously, if you're checking the mating patterns of some bird on the other side of the planet, you're not going to get a lot of pushback on that one. So that one would tell you we should probably get rid of that program. But something like this, where obviously there was a ton of push, but we've seen it for sure because it's in our community. But I think there was a lot getting said, because I know I reached out to multiple offices in DC over the deal, and I can't believe that I was the only one. So I think that might have been one of their tactics, and I'm throwing some hyperbole out there. I don't know for sure, but I think that might have been one of their tactics to see the value of them specific programs. I almost use my wife's favorite word, specific. But it seemed like that might have been what they're up to, because now it seems to be really kind of building back, and sadly we lost some good people in the deal, but
We did.
it sounds like that, I got a daughter-in-law out there now, and she's actually says it's really building a good staff back.
I think part of the problem in Denison that, we kind of put the number, they said that it was the funding that they were spending more than they should, but they had when they put up the new gym, they had those numbers in there that they'd spent that money. So it made it look like they spent all this money for, it didn't balance out with their numbers they were looking at. That's why it was rated so low. Once they had an opportunity to kind of
Return
tell.
on investment didn't look real good. Yeah.
So I think that there were some numbers that just weren't quite right. That's why we were kind of zeroed in on a little bit there for a minute. But it was devastating to our community to think about that not being here anymore. And so there's a lot of people.
You kind of think about how many kids, go through there in a year's time. If you have success with a third of them, and hopefully you have a success a lot more, but if you have success with a third of them, to me, it's probably worth a lot.
Yeah.
And if you're getting above that, you're really doing great. And I think they're doing great out there. Because you think about some of them kids, especially them young mothers that were coming, and I don't sound like you can have kids there anymore. Is that right?
I think there's still a single parent dorm, but I don't think there's daycare.
Okay. So, them different things though that give them an opportunity to develop a skill and it sounds like some actually stay here in Denison.
That one contractor in Carroll.
Right.
See.
It was a
CK
success
one?
story. Yep. I'd never heard of them, but they're.
Never heard of him, but
duplexes.
he actually got his education there and now was.
That was in
hired.
that newsletter that they gave us.
Yeah.
Right.
If you go through that.
Yeah, he's actually building the condos here in Denison.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they take
That's great.
Job Corps. Well, Adam's had
Awesome.
Job Corps students come on and learn how the concrete work, and it's a good experience for them to see how you need to work and get off your phone and if there's a shovel that needs to be picked up, pick it up, and I think that they.
Adam's one of their hands-on, like
He has-
Peterson's and
Yep.
other places like that, I believe, do
Doesn't
that.
have one at this exact moment, but we've had them out there summertime more. They'll take a couple and teach them the trade.
I mean, it's just sometimes, I think politicians, they look at what they think are the numbers, meaning that, okay, here's what it costs to educate our kids in a public school. Here's what it costs per student to do it at Job Corps.
Yeah.
And why is it so much more? Why is this so much more? We need to cut that so they're in line with everybody else. And then you don't look at the overriding factors of, okay, what does it do to incarceration rates of people that age?
Absolutely.
What does Job Corps do for that? Where does it give these people, hope? And sometimes they don't have any family, and now they have a family, and now they feel self-worth, and now they're
Yep.
contributing to society. And I think gets missed. They just look at the cost sometimes. Sometimes they don't even look at the cost when you talk about the mating birds of Eastern Egypt, and you're like, what are we doing? But on some of that stuff, I think it is so important that, hey, we're trying to make this a better world and a better place also. And so sometimes we have to spend money to do that. And, I just think sometimes that
Our
gets
numbers
lost.
in Denison were a little
And we,
off because
we,
of that.
right, and we can be selfish in Denison because we have a center here and we know that it does bring economic,
It does.
Yep, vitality.
right, economic vitality or jobs. And that's important. And you can be selfish just about that aspect and kind of also lose focus then on what is Job Corps here for? What are those employees supposed to be doing?
It's up and
And
running,
so-
and the proclamation of we are open, I think,
Right.
starts to get the word out. And so I'm
Well,
glad
tell
we-
somebody good at spreading word.
Yeah.
Patty will make sure that we're heard.
I think so. That's
Anything else, Gene?
No.
Dave?
Did we do anything else, Kyle?
Nailed it. Glad I remembered.
You qualified for the interview tomorrow.
Went and checked out Crawford on 141 by Phil Strock. He's there. Kent Lansing called me about. I told him it was in the States right away, but he talked to Ben about it a little bit. He was gonna get a hold of DOT to have them go look at it. Like Ben said, we're all on the same team, or have the same common goal, so let them know to go check that out. With the rains kind of was overflowing. I also had a call from Roger Kinkle. Roger said that first meeting with EMS went very well. However, he said, Dave, this is not for me.
Oh, did he?
He said, I appreciate the board thinking that, trusting my capabilities to do it. He said, but just, it is not my wheelhouse. When they got into all the different acronyms and things and systems, and he goes, I just not confident I would make the best decisions. So he said, thank you, but I'm going to step away from that board, and hopefully you guys can find a good replacement.
I'm sure we can.
So something to think about. I talked to Greg and Kyle about it a little bit.
Ty, when's the next meeting scheduled?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It's next month.
Next month.
Yeah, it's there, yeah.
So everybody, I guess, put your thinking caps on. If you can maybe get a confirmation from an individual by next Tuesday.
We can have it on the agenda for next
Oh,
week.
the-
On the agenda
11th.
next Tuesday.
The 11th.
Okay,
He did say, Ty, he thought the meeting was very well ran. He thought there was a lot of good discussion.
Mhm.
He said, I thought it was very, very interesting. He said, I just don't feel comfortable.
A couple times he looked like, what the hell are they talking about?
Right.
And I think you might be, that's a good point, I mean, maybe that's something that I should remind everybody.
Oh,
I've listened to you guys talk 100 times. You all talk to each other a lot. Make sure that we don't just throw a bunch of acronyms out there. And the people that are sitting in the 3 seats that are county people
Oh, yeah.
may not, I mean, Cindy probably hears a lot of stuff in this when she listens to our meetings. So she's probably got an idea what we're talking about, but
I mean, I did
I could
reach out.
see like with Roger and that, having a lot of contact with that where that might be, what the
It
heck
would
are
be.
they talking
It
about?
would be.
I mean, Dave told me about this yesterday and I did reach out to an individual. He's gonna consider it. get back. So
I just looked up there, so we can't see who is on the meeting and, anybody's got their hand up or anything anymore, or is anybody
I
on?
don't know what happened,
I
to
just
be
looked at
honest.
that, and I
I have
realized
no
it's,
idea. I don't know
I
why.
mean,
it
usually
looks different.
Ryan's name is up there.
yeah, are we,
Usually whoever's
Like the
connected, like
Right.
these
I
folks
know.
have a square
I
or
kind of
something
missed
on
that
the.
to see
Like
who's
showing on
actually.
video.
You should wonder if it's
Where
even
we at?
on.
Oh, there we go, all right,
Okay.
There we
sorry.
go.
There's a lot of people here.
There are, oh yeah, there's
Just push a
seven.
button and
Now
there
I
we
can
are,
see
boom.
them. Oh, cool.
Maybe
Thank
it's
you.
got their hand up.
Welcome to the meeting.
So yeah, something we'll
No, we're not.
have to look into and come up with names next week.
Hopefully if it's, if name that you can talk to them first, kind of see if they'd be willing to be appointed, I guess.
I just remember, did anybody get back to Lance on that road?
I mean, I did forward Lance's email to Ben,
So we'll talk about that.
and I got Ben's response back, and I sent that to Lance, and Lance said, hey, thanks for sending that on.
Okay.
And Ben was gonna, Ben of course was gone last week,
Okay, yeah.
so I think Ben this week will be in contact with
Okay,
Lance.
very good. I just had remembered that. I drove out there, but I'm like. they're talking to me.
Okay.
The other thing I did have, of course, brought up last week with Vale and the bridge there and just a little bit of touch up to maybe some gravel or grading there. I talked to Monty and Ben about it and they said, no problem, I can do whatever you guys want. But in my conversations with Vale's Mayor Monty, he did bring up something I need to touch base with Ben again. We looked into doing that bank stabilization along the creek there.
Mhm.
And he was just kind of wondering where we were at with that. And I know Ben was working on that and thought it would be a project possibly this year.
Okay, because I think that's Hungry Canyon.
That's a
Hungry
Hungry
Canyon
Canyon
project,
Was
yeah.
gonna, already has approved that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then after that was done, of course, kind of along your lines of, we had talked, I know there's interested buyer in a couple of lots we have there along the bank. But of course, it'd have to go out to bids, which I did tell Jeff Gallagher that, and he's been mowing it the last 15 years. And Monty kind of asked about that. He said the city has no interest. But I said, well, the county, from what our previous conversation, we really don't
Right
have
on the task force.
no use for it. But something to think about as we get that project done and down the road.
It's in the city limits of Vale, right? So I mean, it'd be tax revenue for the city of Vale and the county.
Yeah,
So I mean, it should,
be perfect to get it back on tax roll.
yeah.
But that's all I had for you, Craig.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Ty?
I didn't have a terrible lot. I didn't make the, well, I started to, and then I was in a bad area, kept cutting out for Central Iowa Juvenile Detention. But, I did talk to Gene. We might do a little horse trading on committees, but I'm gonna do that until we get done with this 2080 stuff, which I think we're getting close. See how that goes, and then we'll decide if we want to stay over there or what. I mean, it's gonna be up to the board, not just me. So let's see. Oh, I did had some contact. My brother actually was the one that called and said sounds like there's some of the guys that are kind of curious on secondary roads if we're gonna have some kind of a deal. How did KR do that with his employees? I mean, as far as the wellness center, if we're gonna have any kind of county incentive thing for that, or?
I know.
And I told him, I said, well, the board really didn't act like we were gonna, but I said, I'll check. I'll talk to him tomorrow morning again.
After last week's conversation, I thought about that, boy. Would it be prudent of us to pick winners or losers of what fitness center they go to and then in the
Yeah.
community?
Well, that's kind of a comment Troy made, you know, he's been down going to Lloyd's forever.
Yeah.
You know, he says, I'll stay there.
Well, even the farther away people, employees, like I think of the ones in Manila, they may want to use Manila's fitness center and not drive to Denison.
Right.
We do that up here, constantly kind of picking and choosing.
People in Schleswig have
I
this,
Most
think
people
we-
don't want to do anything, and why are you giving them,
right?
just give me the extra $20 a month.
Fifty
You know,
I mean, if we were to do, I don't,
65.
That's why I'm just asking.
Right.
I know I know what's in my mind, but I mean,
If we could get an incentive, I guess, from our insurance company would reduce our premium by an amount, you know, if they were a member of a gym, that would be, we could pass that savings on to that individual, I would think. That'd be something we could discuss. but I don't know.
And then would it be here's that savings and a dollar amount, go use it where you want at whatever facility?
I
you
mean,
want?
that's the way I would wanna see it done, that way that they can
Right.
choose the membership that they want, and then if it's anything above that, they would pay it out of their own pocket that way.
Don't want to be in
If
competition.
they're in the
with
middle,
them.
they wanna go to that gym, or they wanna stay at Lloyd's, or whatever.
Well, we
At
should
least
certainly
one.
encourage physical fitness and going out and doing something to
You wanna
encourage
know.
it. It's all, but to, the comments that I've had is, people that have donated to the wellness center and pay their own dues and registrations, just think that that's one less thing that their tax dollars should go towards is kind of the comments that,
I guess to me, the starting point would be talking to Holmes and Murphy to see if there is a savings with health insurance because you're offering a fitness plan, reimbursement type deal. And then if there is, what is that amount to pass it on?
and what I found out, I always thought that silver sneakers was kind of part of Medicare. I've never really checked into it, but they no longer, it's with your supplement and the supplement. So my insurance agent told me that my supplement would pay for it, my part of it. Then they found out that it doesn't through the whole thing, and that mine, even if mine did and Jerry's didn't, it would only save me $5 because Jerry would have to pay a full membership, and so it wasn't gonna be worth it. But there are insurance companies out there that actually do the membership, so.
Come up with a lot of interesting walkie-talkies, silver
I
sneakers.
tell you, it's just been a whole different world for me. It's business.
I want to be in golden boots.
Well, I can't think what the one with my physicians that have a different name. It might be something like Golden Years of Office.
Anything else, Ty?
Yeah, but now I forgot what I was gonna be.
Sorry.
I thought it was something with the State House.
Ty, I did talk to Latifa on my way back from Story County last Friday,
Okay.
and she sounded pretty excited about some of the ways you're gonna offer memberships and with the 2080, and just sounded like maybe you guys got things on the
Yeah.
right path.
I think that, well, I started asking questions about how that was gonna, having people pay when some wouldn't have to, and I didn't mean for it to turn into, and I wasn't doing all the talking, but quick question turned into about an hour dispute. So, I mean,
But
I
it
think
needs to be
that,
ironed out.
but I think it turned everything around to where they were evaluating. Actually, one guy made a terrible comment. He said, well, life's just not fair. And he's right. Life isn't fair. But when you want somebody to join membership, you need to make sure that there's some form of equity, to where we're all stepping up the same. I understand that the original counties had to put in money to help establish Central Iowa Juvenile Detention. So if you had to do something that was a similar, even if you had put some inflationary cost on top of it, if you had to put something together, okay, but then everybody that didn't pay in that original bunch should ante up, right?
And we
Seems
were
fair.
in the original bunch.
What?
Crawford County was.
No, no, we were not.
We were not.
In fact, we weren't even in the second bunch.
Oh,
That was part of the lawsuit.
What
I
year did we
mean,
come
we were just outside of it.
Yeah, okay.
2018,
2018, probably.
2018, something like that.
Yeah, I think Cecil must have got us on the, and like Nate said, he still likes having a toolbox. And they do have some value, I suspect, I mean, I don't know how much, I don't think the price is gonna be a lot different from that to the Yes Center. You're just gonna have different transport. And they took away that indigent fees, which really I mean, that was the thing that I thought, well, really, is it helping your wheelhouse, Nate? When we had the indigent fees, it was gonna be so much more expensive. Really wasn't a good idea. And, because you didn't have to pay them fees here, but now they took them fees off over there, so.
I know I'm just outside looking in, but talking to you and Latifa and Kyle and different ones on the board, it just seems like you guys are engaged talking everything out, coming up with good direction to go. Just way different than what it was back in 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Well, I will tell you that the group of supervisors that are in the committee, the executive committee, Latifah's in there, Bob Thode, Lance, then Kyle and different ones like that. Not our Kyle Stecker, he's out of Cassuth County. Kyle's did an amazing job as the chair over there. I mean, he took on a mess. It was a mess. And anybody could have basically cowered out of that, and said, oh, I'm just not really ready to take on a fight like this, because it was a fight. It was a lot to clean up. And I mean, I don't know how much illegal activity, there might be some things that are questionable, but I mean, it was a lot to clean up, and there was a lot, like the maintenance wasn't getting done because we were trying to hurry up, pay off that new part and get rid of that note. And now you got a big expense there. There was even refrigerators or washing machines that weren't working, but refrigerators needing bought. So, there was a big thing to take on there. And they really, this group of supervisors that took it on, at some point, I think ISAC should even commend them. If something that recognizes that effort in front of the entire body of supervisors, or maybe even the entire body of county government. Just, this is what we should be doing to help straighten out organizations that we're, in this sense, responsible for. We're the commission in charge, So, it's been they've done a great job, and then that Scott, Larson, Boone County, where's the black cowboy at? Part of your bad guy team.
Yeah.
He's a super good supervisor. He's also stepped up and done a great job. And he's even filled in for Kyle at times. In any event,
Okay,
I don't want to take any
we
more.
can have you follow up in citizens input time if there's anything you'd want to add, but since we have 2 public hearings that are timed specifically, we should probably get on with Ben.
Ben, you have to.
See if you can get done by 10 o'clock.
I better be, I guess.
If not, we will interrupt you.
Save one of those.
You just sit here for the public hearing.
Yes. Well, I'll be quick then. The HMA project, we do have a tentative schedule from the contractor. It's really not much different than kind of what we were anticipating. The schedule. Really what they're looking at is starting in late June. Starting milling at that point, and their color coding doesn't exactly match what they've got going on down there, but basically starting late June and ending late August is what the time frame that they're looking for the project. So really pretty straightforward. I know the late start date is June 8th, but that just means their working days start on June 8th. And they've got 80 working days, which really puts them into the October timeframe, starting on June 8th. They're just basically blocking out this part of their construction season to do this project. And I think it'll work out just fine. So it took them about 2 months of work, probably maybe less, so maybe more, but they got the working days, and that's kind of what their schedule.
Have we had Norris Asphalt do stuff for the county before, or not? This is their first time with us with the county.
We asked that right away, and I don't think.
I don't, not
remember
since I've been
either.
here, I don't recall.
Tim's shaking his head no too, so.
Casey, he's been here a while, he hasn't worked with them, I know they've done some work for.
Well, it's nice to try somebody different.
I'm always nervous about it.
I know, I understand.
I've heard great things about
Right.
other counties that have used them for,
Okay.
and they say they're a great contractor,
All
so
right, good.
I don't.
Well, it goes 2 ways to find one that's good and you use
Right.
it down the road or for your bid or.
One and done.
The name is familiar to me for some reason.
Okay,
But I think they'll do good work. I think they have done good work. I think they're a reputable company. So good. Don't have concerns.
I'm having a little trouble figuring out when I drive by down there south of Dunlap, where the heck they're gonna set their stuff up. That's a mess down there where they're digging that new quarry.
It's just for them to know. Like I said, we kind of waited, on doing any kind of work on the county shop yard there, but we kind of getting that shaped up in anticipation that they don't plan on using it. So, but
I mean, it's still available, should they determine, but they are gonna put their millings there. But yeah, they have never indicated that they intend to use either of the areas that we said could be made available to them for a batch plant, but so they must have it figured out one way or another, so.
Okay.
So, the project that probably have a pre-construction meeting, hopefully the first part of May, but great crew, they're working up on F Avenue, up between 110th and 120th Street, get some good work done on that. Probably be there a couple of weeks yet, and then just move right around the corner to 110th Street to address a couple snow borrow areas. So they're still plugging away between the rains and bridge crew. They've been very busy relaying concrete pipe sections that we continue to find, that are just rearing their head a hole in the road here and there. Some of them along the paved route that we know we had to relay some end sections, but we're finding a lot more out there, and it's one of those things that we're probably gonna have to start really taking a hard look at these underneath our pavements, and maybe getting a program where but so much annually to do a segment of roadway, have them inspected, grouted, and see what the correct address for some of these is gonna be. Liners on a lot of them are gonna be a little bit pricey, but I don't think a lot of them merit liners. I think a lot of them could be grouted and addressed in that regard, and end sections replaced, but we're finding out a lot. We may have to address a lot of concrete culverts on the paved roads, so we're getting some eyes on that right now. We got Denko in the area today. Look at L51, a couple of them, and kind of go over with us kind of what they think a good fix would be, whether or not grouting some of these joints are gonna be a solve for some of them, or if liners would be more recommended. So gonna get some information on that today. So, but
Well, that's good.
Roadside, and they're doing some addressing some bridge maintenance issues that Casey has been identifying in his bridge inspections. So haven't gone on to any new construction yet, so we'll get down to Asmal's neighborhood here real soon. But we got a couple things we're still addressing. But roadside crew, they're out still seeding probably for another 2 weeks. Then they're gonna move on to mowing ahead of Memorial Day and spring. So getting materials around for them for that activity. Next item, motion to approve our roadside budget and program that we submitted to the DOT, kind of the information that I posted, our projects that we were looking at, in the weeks prior to all that. It's been submitted to them. They did finally get it reviewed, approved, had some corrections to be made, in the programming end of things, but they get that completed. And
How much did it alter what you showed us?
pardon?
How much did their redo alter what you showed us?
Just how some entries and how it was entered in the program. It just
Didn't change any numbers.
no numbers really changed.
Just
Not at all, really.
just some dramatic.
Exactly. How the information was entered into the program more so.
Okay.
So, but yeah, nothing changed as far as our 5-year program, what I had put out there as far as projects that we've been looking at or budget numbers. So the budget just reflects.
Well, I'd make a motion to approve the Crawford County Secondary Roads Iowa DOT fiscal year 27 budget and program.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Hi.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries.
This is the budget. This is the program. So your copy, but these are just printouts from the DOT for.
That's the DOT's program.
Right. Let's see, last week, they finished up their final testing on Deloitte Boulevard for the optimization study. I have a Teams meeting with that Jeremy Ashlock from ISU and that TAC committee meeting today. I don't know if they're kind of just compiled results or they're just got some questions regarding from the from us in Chickasaw County that participated in this, but I know a little bit more about kind of the results that they've been finding out from what they've done. So it would be interesting to see. But you guys know what comes of that. I'm sure they'll publish their findings in some fashion in the future here. We're out there next time. We're out there doing a lot of pavement maintenance activities. Today, well, I thought today our painters were going to be doing pavement markings today, but it looks like they had some trouble with their equipment. Probably going to do that tomorrow. But we usually, where we handle our pavement markings, we don't paint everything in the county. We usually assess our pavement markings and do X number of miles, usually about half of our lane miles of pavement markings, and just kind of as need basis. Basically, get everything on about 2-year rotation for good repave. But at some point, it may be something we look at. Just I know a lot of counties do painting every mile every year. It's there's miles that probably could use it, little areas. We try to do segments of it at a time. So, but for right now, we're just identifying the worst roadways, getting them painted, and trying to keep it up that way, kind of within a 2-year rotation. I went out with Steve Wilt last week, looked at some seal coat roads, and talking about doing some crack sealing. Our seal coats, there's always little areas to be addressed, but we've got so much that we budget for seal coat, and we're going to try and identify some of the worst seal coat areas. I think Nelson Park Road going up to the park is one area that doesn't look bad, but probably needs a maintenance coat over top of that. It's been a lot of years since we've done that section, and
is that where you just tar it and put some fresh little pebble rock on it?
Yeah. Just and there's areas where it just has a little bit of a dip out and it just needs a patch on some of these areas. So basically we pick our worst areas, start here, and we got this much to spend at it. Kind of same with the crack sealing. We'll identify our worst roads where we want to go with some crack sealing. We budgeted so much, and basically say go until we spend this much, and try and get as much done as we can, and budget some more for next year and try to keep up on that. So, but and then again, paper marking, shouldering. The guys are out doing a little bit of shouldering, touching up those edges, but concrete, I kind of talked about that concrete separation issues. That's one thing that we probably will have to get start scheduling more of that going on. Getting a company and doing some of this grouting on some of these joints to make sure we don't have pavement issues as a result. We're seeing a lot of it. So some of it we can do on our own, but some of it is underneath the road. We can't dig it out. So
Is this a new separation or just stuff that we finally noticed?
I think just over time it's gotten worse, and it's nothing new. It's probably always been there, but it's just as we're this time of year, also we're identifying a lot of these ends are creating holes on the side of the roads. Now we're chasing tail a little bit, getting them addressed, and as we start peeking in on them a little bit, inspecting a little bit closer, we got a lot more of this going on than anticipated. And if we don't want to have holes forming underneath our pavements, there's some of these that probably merit addressing with some grout and being on a program to do some of that, a little bit of that each year.
1 minute.
You're right.
Still no.
Don't ask any questions.
Well, 1 minute. Upcoming application of a spring dust control. So we're getting our maps out to the guys for where the dust control sites are going to be. And, but just a reminder, that's coming about.
Ben, are you going to follow up on that email I sent you from Lowell?
I am, yes.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to really get up there to see what's truly going on, but I mean, we'll have to identify, if we got an issue, we'll have to see.
I just mentioned
what
to
the
Lowell, I
right-of-ways
said that
are.
you were gone for a few days last week. I said Ben will be back this week. I would assume that you'll be in contact with them.
I'll probably slip up there right after meeting.
Okay.
See
All right.
what we got going on, so.
Thank you.
That's important.
Thanks, guys.
Made it.
Thank you.
Perfect.
10 o'clock.
Thank
Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Tim.
you. Sorry I spoke through your minutes.
It being 10 o'clock, I'll entertain a motion to open our public hearing for the 26-27 budget.
So move.
Go ahead. Ken.
Motion by Dave, second by Ty. I'm sorry, motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We're now open in our public hearing. I guess, is there anyone from the public that is here in person that would like to address the board?
Well, I guess I got a couple questions,
Okay,
There we go.
if you're ready for them.
That's why you're here.
26, 27. No, you're fine.
Encroaches on my area.
No, I'm fine.
We
What
need
page
to
you wrote 'em on?
I got it all.
She don't just,
So like
If you
the
get-
land purchase from Horace,
Sometimes.
what line does that go under?
That would have been in the secondary roads budget.
Secondary roads budget?
Yeah.
So then you plan to build a new building out there,
Yes. That would have been in this fiscal year's budget.
27, yeah.
27th fiscal year?
Yeah.
25,
26.
26,
27.
No, 25, 26.
Current fiscal
It
year.
happened
we're
this
in,
year.
right.
Cause that check was
Already been
wrote in
paid for.
December.
the land.
Oh, for the land.
I was talking
Yeah.
building.
The building is
Oh.
in next.
Next
fiscal
2
year.
years,
Next
probably,
2 years,
right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
26.
that goes under the same line then?
And probably, not building and maintenance probably, is what I think it's under in the secondary roads budget.
Can a guy buy a building and excuse me, stuff that just keeps getting higher and higher and higher.
Well,
Every month you wait, it seems like it jumps 3 to 5%,
I agree with that statement, yeah.
you know.
Yep, I would just, my.
Same thing with
personal
the green
opinion,
bin, you know,
get it done
anything.
more sooner than later.
Steve, Kyle's made this comment many times. Our best buy for anything is today.
Or you mean yesterday.
So, and this is a project that, to me, is gonna be here the next 50 years. You know, any of our updates and county sheds and stuff. You're doing that for the long term or more.
50 to 100, I think is
I
kind of
think
what.
50 to 100, but been in.
I
all
think the
these
charter oak
roads.
shed that I realized that was almost 100 years old now. I think it was built in the 40s, so.
The current one?
Mhm.
So then you're gonna close Ricketts or keep that open? Or
It's
what was your
debatable,
agenda?
yeah.
We're still discussing that.
Options.
Okay.
I mean, I think that we get accused of stepping over a dollar to pick up a dime quite often and at this table, so I think them options are on the table, Steve. I mean, as far as, you know, as equipment is mobile as it is, I think we have to consider those options.
And, you know, if we're gonna do it out of Bay while we're doing it, to do that. is-
The cheapest thing to do it, I mean, instead of building another shop 2 years from now, I mean,
Well, it eliminates an electric bill and a gas bill up there and all, so in the long term, I mean, that extra, little bit of extra driving,
Maintenance on the building.
is gonna make it well worth just moving the Ricketts down there, at least that's my opinion.
that shed might be older than the charter oak shed. I don't know.
And we've already actually had some people interested in buying it, so I mean, we put it back on the tax rolls and other stuff too, so I mean, that's always a win-win.
Right. Then you mentioned you went out to the county farm.
Yep.
On a 10-year project.
Mhm.
What income does that create a year?
Oh, was it 39,000?
Yeah, it
Somewhere
was
39
different this year
change.
because of the,
300 and some dollars an acre, $300 an acre on 126 acres, and then there's another 26 acres at a different rate.
will it be different than what it was this year? This is what Van Glons broke down for us.
Oh, Yeah.
Yeah, they broke it all,
Cause
but
this
it
is,
won't
we
be all
got, we
that.
got
though, right?
reimbursed for all the seed and the
Yeah.
labor putting it in, so.
Yeah, so
I
it
think that
was quite a
normal
bit
will be
more this year.
39,000, I roughly. This was 44,000.
Cause it's got the, we have the supervisor or the CRP stuff.
39,577 county supervisor.
So that would come in under intergovernmental line, or what would that fall in?
Actually, it's kind of unique how this. We can't have CRP ground because we're government.
Right,
So we actually have a contract with Ben Monglon. He's actually in his name. So he gets the check and then submits it back to us, and he keeps I think it's 10%.
but
he
he's keeping,
donates his, all, but he donates 8% of that to the county fair. He keeps 2% for handling fees.
Yep.
And then,
Upkeep? Yeah, he's gonna cut all the trees.
no,
No,
we
that's
have
just
a-
administrative.
we have a land management agreement. We have a land management agreement that has us forever.
Business Forever does that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's kind of whole thing? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and so of our 90%, they get half of that.
Oh,
Pheasants does
So
for doing that work, the land management portion.
so then what about like the county parks? You mentioned something about the road. What income does that go under?
That's on secondary roads.
that's a
That goes under
secondary.
secondary
That's not
roads,
an
like
income, but an
Nelson's
expense.
Park.
Nelson's Park, yeah.
If it's in the
The road
farm, that's,
the road to those parks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
if
about
it's
the park?
in the park, it's in
It's conservation.
conservation.
Well, that goes under conservation.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cause we did, Yellowstone repaved their asphalt in, was it a few years back, and that was part of conservation's budget.
okay. Does it work?
The road?
Expenses versus income for
park,
the parks?
no.
Oh.
No.
I'm just curious.
I don't know if you'll find,
Kind of like
I don't know if you'll find a county park or state park, I don't know if you'll find a county or state park that'll
With,
break
with,
even.
I
I mean,
just have a little bit of camping. I mean, it's mostly, that's more of a quality of life thing. So you have to evaluate it on that aspect. It's a quality of life thing for your residents. Plus, you know, I mean, also preservation for wildlife.
Well, and then the other thing that they always talk about too is just because of camp and pay camping fees, what it does to our local economy with going out to eat or
Yeah, it's hard to
restaurants or gas
evaluate all that.
stations.
Well, I know.
I mean, just from
Ideas,
a,
whether they're-
Steve, just from an income and expense, our parks take in about $250,000 a year. We spend about $650,000 a year, or I'm sorry, we spend about $900,000 a year. So that difference of 650,000 is what it costs us in our conservation budget that we don't have income to offset. About 650 grand.
Yeah.
One last thing.
All right.
I guess it kind of irks me though, but on the last time when I was here on the tax roll with Western Iowa Tech, does anybody report to you on what they all did for 11 million bucks?
No,
No,
You know, I'll get
Right.
some type
And
of
that's not just
account.
our county. The 11 million is
Oh,
Western Iowa Tech statewide.
service.
That's not just our
all
county.
99 of them?
Well, Western Iowa
Wherever
Tech
they're at.
doesn't exist in all 99
Wherever they
counties.
are.
It exists in our northwest-ish portion of the state. I could show you a map.
27 counties.
Yeah, ish. Yep, yeah. I
Oh.
could show you the map that indicates.
Did you say?
No, I know, I know.
Because other
Yeah.
community colleges in other parts of the state,
Yeah,
they tax.
Yeah.
And their portion of the
We have
state.
a little
that they
we have 4
service.
community colleges that are represented in Crawford
Well,
County.
they tell me the one in Mapleton is closed even already. The
I
electric
know
one.
that.
Western Iowa Tech.
The Western
Could be.
Iowa Tech.
Oh, okay. But, so there, it's still in a district over there. They still pay taxes
Okay,
towards that
I
community
was
college,
getting-
even
I
though
was being
their
misled.
branch might be closed.
Right.
It really doesn't have anything to do if there's a satellite location in that town or not, whether they pay the taxes, they do. Just like schools, whether you have a person in school or not,
Right.
your home still resides in a school district and you are paying those taxes. community college functions in the same fashion.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get you a map for that if you'd like, just to
No, that's-
see which ones
I
they
got a pretty
are.
good idea.
That's a good question, though, and good to specify that
Yeah.
that 11 million isn't just
Yeah.
in Crawford County.
No,
That's their whole budget.
It's their whole budget.
Let me, it
It's the
shows it
whole-
on your tax roll. you know.
Right.
Let
No,
me
I
just-
know.
Good for you.
Let me help clarify something too here. When they're their own taxing entity, you know, they basically have their own levy. That 11 million's their own levy, and they've got a board that they answer to at Iowa Western or Western Iowa Tech. And it's just like the hospital has its own board. The schools all have their own school boards. None of them have to report to us. The ones that we're on a board, like the assessor's office, we're a third of that board. So they have to report to us in that capacity through that board, but they still don't necessarily have to report to us if they don't pull money out of our funds. Like EMA pulls money out of our funds. So they still, that commission establishes the budget, but it still has to get approved through us as well too, because it comes out of our supplemental budget on the basic stuff. So you understand? Not everybody that's pulling tax dollars out of Crawford County has to report to this board. So that's why we don't always have a direct answer
just 'cause
for
we
you.
What did we figure the other day, Terry? There's
They should
8
have
or
to
9
report,
taxing
they do have to
authorities
report,
in Crawford County that come out, get tax dollars from you, but we have control over one of those.
Probably, yeah.
And
We
that's
don't have
all-
control over much.
So luckily we've got an
Just
auditor
this
with
budget.
experience. She can
You
answer them questions a lot.
You can go to their meetings and have some control over.
So that, yeah, when,
So you
He's a
did want
busy
to
guy.
be part of the EMS commission?
Hey,
I'm afraid I get fired at the first meeting.
it's a job you can't be fired from.
We don't fire volunteers.
Yeah,
Oh, anything else, Steve?
Well, we might, but.
well, I guess
for you,
just
we
looking
make an
at
Exception.
the assessors in strictly Crawford County, right?
It is.
I'm just looking at the percent increase. It just seems awfully big jump to me at almost 21.5% increase.
His salary was larger than what we typically have, plus he's got it in there for his chief deputy,
But he hasn't hired yet.
but he hasn't hired one yet.
And he may not spend that money.
Yeah, so we don't even know for sure he'll spend
He's still
all of
But
levying.
that.
whether he spends it, he's gonna levy
He's
for it.
levying.
He's already
for it.
levied
Right.
for it. Okay, so yes, that seems a little, you could go down and talk to Paul and he can
Yeah.
answer for himself. I mean, like I said, we're a third of that one, so we do have an idea what's going
It
on.
just seemed like a pretty good increase.
That is a good,
It is.
that is a good increase. Yes.
Compared to the other
I
two.
agree.
But there's a $800,000 project coming up too for that
And I think,
department,
I
right?
wonder how much
Yeah.
of
Sure
that's
is.
in
We
this year.
wish we could get on
We
it.
got that where we have to do the, what do they go, Vanguard?
Residential revival.
It's a residential reva, and if we don't do that, the state does it for us, and then
Because our entire county hasn't been done in
since
30 years.
1976,
Exactly.
76.
So-
almost 50 years.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
remember everybody complaining about the resident, or the
Commercial.
commercial and the industrial here
Right.
last
Yeah.
year.
It's gonna happen to the
Well, now they're
residential.
gonna be back next year when they're doing the.
There'll be somebody knocking on your door to want
So if you
to.
get a plain white envelope, make sure you
We
open
won't
it.
fit them all.
What you still gotta remember, that's the evaluations that they're doing.
Right.
That still isn't necessarily what your taxes are, because we still set the levy.
How's that even,
On other agencies, but we set our levy.
how's that even gonna make a darn bit of difference if property tax
It's
reform,
capped at 2%.
it's not even making it,
The only thing I'll see it as a value for assessors is when we do new construction. Kyle, that's really, I mean, Paul could probably come up and explain it once they finally get done
we're
with
gonna
this thing.
spend this
Bill.
$800,000 and it's pretty much gonna be deemed worthless.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's what bothers me is we spend $800,000 for what?
For what?
Then it just seems
We
like
can't get out of it. We've already checked.
with the few guys that I helped in the years past, if it's a certain project, the architect and the other filing fees, there's 20% right off the top that goes into your cost, not even actual
Right.
building materials and land or anything.
Yeah.
So that all
I'm sure
has a
Vanguard
big
has
effect
a
on
number
your
of
total cost.
already
Mhm.
figured in.
You got that stuff, you bet.
Thanks, Steve. I just wanted to see if there's anybody out in Zoom land that wants to address the board concerning the 26-27 budget.
You need to sign in.
Oh, no, I did not.
Uh-oh.
Well, good questions.
Yeah, appreciate the question.
Yeah, really.
Fine. Are you sticking around for the next one?
Today,
Yeah,
There's
in
one right after
5
this.
minutes or 2
In
minutes.
1
maybe.
minute.
Yeah, 1 minute.
oh, the amended budget,
Yeah. So sign on both of them.
sign both of them?
Yes, sorry. It's a chore today.
I didn't think
Sorry.
you'd want to hear me twice.
Why not? You're.
So were there any
right
written
here.
objections that you received, Terry, or any
No
written
written
statements or anything?
objections, no.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to come out of the public hearing.
Make a motion to come out of public hearing.
Support.
Motion by Gene, second by Ty. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Thank you for
Thank you.
attending.
Thank you.
Stand out of public hearing. We'll now entertain motion by resolution to approve the 26-27 budget.
Motion to approve.
All right.
Motion by Kyle,
Second.
second by Dave. Any further discussion? That will have roll call by resolution. Kyle,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Gene,
Aye.
Ty.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. I will now entertain a motion to go into a public hearing concerning a budget amendment.
You caught up.
No.
Okay,
We'll give her a second to get caught up.
all right.
Public hearing.
We want to give her ample time to continue to give her good marks on her meeting minutes for future.
Understood.
For research
See,
down
while
the
she's
road.
catching up, I did on another thing, I had, on Facebook,
Is it 10:15?
10-16.
on Facebook, there was some comments about our bridges and stuff, so I posted some statistics on how well we're
I seen
doing.
that.
Did you see
Is
that?
there a motion yet?
No,
So-
yeah, I'll make a motion.
Motion by
I think it's
Kyle,
important to get that stuff.
Second.
second by Dave. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We are now in a public hearing concerning our budget amendment. Anyone here in person would like to address the board? Anyone out there in Zoom land would like to address the board concerning our budget amendment? Once again, I guess this does not increase the taxes or tax rate for the taxpayer. These are taxes that were levied last year and didn't spend it. And so we just need to have the budget amendment to have the spending authority so we can spend that. And so it doesn't raise the taxes. Those have already been collected. But we didn't spend it. Is that-
$55,000 of the amendment is coming out of our general supplemental fund. It is to support the treasurer's office, recorder's office, and our IT department for insurance changes. Of course, for IT, we hired a new person, and going from a single person to a married person with dependents, different insurance rates. So that was
That we didn't
part of
budget
the,
for.
and the other two departments had employees with qualifying events, which caused those changes in the policies that they chose. I think one of them was mid-year. And then there was a $16,800 portion of the budget amendment is for the county farm. Because of the changes that were made in the, the renter? I don't want to call them the renter, but the person, the Van Glons that are getting that CRP money and then portioning it out. Anyway, it was more money, so we had to pay out more. Anyway, so the 16,800 will cover those.
And Terry, what's the total
changes.
budget amendment for?
The total is $71,800.
$71,800.
Yep.
55 of that, which was that supplemental stuff.
the first time we've ever done that since I've been here, I think, isn't it?
What's that?
The changes.
Supplemental?
Yeah, the changes in insurance in the middle.
Nope, we've done it before.
We have.
Yep,
But we offer those insurance
yep, as long as
programs.
they're qualifying events, we
Right.
can allow it,
Right,
so,
yep.
and we always make sure they are.
And you can't predict that when you
You
budget.
can't.
Yeah.
No, unless
No,
you want
especially-
everybody to budget for family plans.
Especially from the IT
And I don't
side,
think
when we
we
had
do.
a single person.
We've had that
So,
happen.
I know, yeah.
We'd rather do it
Creates
this
for
way.
higher levies and we don't want to
Right.
levy unnecessarily, so,
Exactly.
yep, exactly.
Any other input? Now that,
I mean,
No. Yes, no?
I don't have any.
okay, I'll entertain a motion to come out of the public hearing.
Make a motion to come out of public hearing.
Motion by Jean.
Second.
Second by Ty. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. We're out of the public hearing. Now entertain a motion to approve resolution 2026-18, the appropriations to departments, which is just what Terry mentioned in those dollar amounts.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ty, second by Dave. Any further discussion? Not, we'll have roll call by resolution. Ty.
Aye.
Dave.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Jean.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. We'll now move on, and that was in our board packet, the insurance rates, COBRA rates and HSA contributions. You want me to read that, Terry, or is that necessary, that resolution?
It's entirely up to you. I mean, it basically just explains the two plans, Plan 14.
Right, one's
And plan-
1,500, one's 3,500 deductible.
Yep, Plan 16 is our high deductible plan.
And the contribution rates,
Yep, the contribution rates are explained on the back. They're exactly as Holmes Murphy presented for Plan 14, for Plan 16. They also mentioned the COBRA rates. And that allows for a 2% administrative increase to the total premium. And that's what we do.
and that's been pretty standard historically, hasn't it?
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
yep, exactly. And then the dental premiums are mentioned. And the Delta Vision premiums are also mentioned.
Everything we discussed with.
Right.
Yeah, yep, everything. It's just, we have always
Done it by
done it by
resolution.
resolution. It's all inclusive. It's creates a clean administration of the process, I guess. So,
I mean, these were all discussed publicly last week
yeah.
when we had our meeting.
Exactly, and it's available in the auditor's office if anybody ever has questions, our employees or the public.
Have the employees had a lot of questions about it that you're aware of?
Not that I'm aware of, but
Everything seems okay?
I think not making any changes, that's always it's simple for an employee. That way, when there's no change, it was same as last year, okay.
Do people go to HSAs and more add on to that? Or would you have that information?
I don't open enrollments next month, so we'll
okay.
find out.
Oh,
Right.
Okay.
I don't even know the answer to
Well, it's
that.
nice to have these
We'll wait
small
and see.
increase versus.
Yeah, so we're on a wait and see.
2.9, we like.
Yeah.
So entertain a motion to approve resolution 2026-19.
So move.
Motion by Dave, second by Jean. Any further discussion? Now we'll have roll call by resolution. Dave.
Aye.
Jean.
Aye.
Ty.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carried. Since we're at citizens input, Ty, is there anything that you wanted to add on to what you were talking about before?
What's that?
What,
I know you're talking about the bridges that you wanted, I appreciate you getting that information out.
Oh, the bridges. Yeah, I just, in the interest of transparency, I was kind of talked about the bridges and stuff with Crawford and how on the state average, we're significantly ahead of most counties. And I think that's a tribute to our secondary roads team and under the 25 years of Paul's administration, got bridges caught. I mean, we do have some bridges that needing some work and, you know, like Ben's brought up, the culverts are needing some work now, in particular the concrete one, it sounds like.
Well, yeah, what I remember, just always mind boggling me. A lot of those are put together, they have spots in them where they're supposed to be bolted together. And you dig them out and very few of them were ever bolted together back in the day. So now they expand, the frost heaves and will pull them apart.
So that might be what the problem is under there.
And most of them, and it's usually just on the end sections where they're more susceptible to the frost. But
Sure.
it just boggles me that why they never. And that ain't not all 100% of it, but that's 90% of the cause. They were never bolted together to begin with.
Yeah.
Just dumbfounds me that nobody thought that far ahead.
You know, and that's
The rest assured they're getting bolted together now.
that's why I really kind of like that liner that you could put in. I mean, if we have to dig one up and redo road and everything, that might be a little cheaper way to go, if depending, because they showed pictures down there at ISAC that time, some of them that they've had to fix, and sometimes they would, because some of them are just crumbles. You gotta get those. But you know, there was some that were kind of, that looks tore up, but then they fix them up with that liner and it expands it, and then it's hard, you know, it's like if you had a fiberglass liner, it's good and hard, you know. So I mean, that might be a way to go to preserve without having to completely tear. I mean, I don't know what its life cycle is, but there's counties around us, and Cherokee, I know they mentioned several times, has used them quite a bit. So it might be a way to go on them tubes instead of having to replace the whole stinking section of road and all works. I mean, that's a lot more work to do, I would think. But I don't know the costs, and I'm sure Ben's probably doing a cost analysis of that, so. But I don't know, I think really our roads and our bridges compared to the state in general, but when I listen to supervisors talk from across the country, I mean, I said it in this room before, I'd put, and this was when Paul was still on, I'd put Paul and the team up against any county secondary roads in the country. Because I mean, I thought, I drove on a lot of them. I had pictures where I was down on a gravel road in Texas that time, you know, and it looked like you were coming up to a stop sign for 2 miles, you know. But I mean, it was terrible. But I mean, once again, real dry place, hard to keep them washboards on, especially if there's a lot of truck traffic on it. But I think that when I've been out in Nebraska, I've been on roads that are like this. So I mean, I think it behooves us to tell the county when people are out there on Facebook, and I don't have Twitters and all that, but I don't think Twitter would let me put one of my paragraphs on. But
It's limited.
yeah, but I think it's important to keep everybody informed on what's going on, because I mean, I know I answered a few questions with that person, you know, they were a lot more satisfied, because we do got a few bridges that need some work, and we've got them posted, you know. We've had the one over there on the far side of the county to the west. It's a very limited bridge, and that makes it kind of really hard for the farmer that's at his place is right on the other side of the bridge, and he's got to go clear around the section, and then emergency services, you know. I mean, I think it's still, a fire truck full of water couldn't cross that bridge legally, you know. So I mean, and there's a couple places there, so is it something that we have to work, but it's also goes over the Soldier there, which is a big span, so it's got to be a bridge that you wouldn't do, our secondary roads wouldn't do. We'd have to, you know, our bridge crew would have to pay, so then you're talking $1 million bridge instead of a couple $100,000 using old, you know. I mean, I went with Paul, like when he went up there up by Correctionville to buy steel I-beams from a construction company that they pulled them out of places. I mean, he was always pretty frugal for us, and I think Ben's have picked up a lot of those same aspects, so that's gonna be beneficial for us. So anyway, that's pretty much what I was up to, and I always keep an eye on that stuff, so hopefully.
I'll just add, I guess, from my standpoint, I did have Wesco meeting yesterday, got early childhood today at noon. One of the things that Wesco I think I reported on a month ago that they thought they were gonna have hired an individual to kind of run their foundation and be a grant writer for them, and that person ended up turning them down in a position in Minneapolis. So back to square one, looking at going through maybe a HR firm to
Yes.
get some candidates. We understand that in some of the other applications that we got last time, they wanted to do it more remotely. So with how things are moving forward and people's work and how it's changing, that may be an aspect that they'll have to consider if someone would do it remotely, but we'll see. I did want to say that this is their third annual duck float. I think everybody's kind of familiar with that, but last year they picked out the sheriff's K-9 unit. That's who they gave the money to. I think it was around $8,000 or $9,000. This year they picked the new Vale playground.
Nice.
Is where the funds are going. I think they've been pretty consistent. They did it with the Dennison playground, and I think the Manila or Schleswig playground. They've given
It's
money.
fun to watch, and guess
So-
who won last year?
Mike Purdon. I finished second
Seems a little weird.
and donated my winnings right back to the foundation.
Very nice.
They're looking at probably, I think early June is when they're gonna make their changes at the bake shop as far as changing their schedule to be open 7 days a week, changing their menu items to serve breakfast. So they're gonna try to, it is under new management. And they're looking at maybe being open like from 7 to 4 or 7 to 3, quit serving food at 2 type of thing.
They're open on Sundays.
They're gonna be open on Sundays, 7 days a
I
week.
think it'll be
You
good.
sign the bottom left.
Okay. So Wesco, what, 200 individuals served, first time they've ever been over 200. So employees at 151, which kind of down, which has made them a little more profitable. So we did approve, but their fiscal budget, they're on the same fiscal year that the county is on, and we approved their budget yesterday for their 26-27 year. And with the budget we approved, looks like they're gonna have income for the year of just over about $500,000 is kind of what the plan is. So that's really everything that I guess that I had. Does anybody else have anything else? Citizens input? Anybody out in Zoom land have anything? Or reporter in-house, anything? If not, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion we adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Jean, second by, is that you, Kyle, or Dave?
Oh, Dave.
Dave. Second by
You
Dave.
can stay all day, it doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned.
Must be muddy. They didn't seem like they're, they've already leaving.
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.